To 25 away from 8. This is my fault. I forgot to warn everybody that papers were coming up. So obviously now no one has a fresh cup of coffee or a cup of tea. So my fault. I'll fix that one tomorrow. I do know that Rochelle de Kock from the Herald newspaper, the editor from the Herald newspaper, of course, has a fresh cup of coffee. She's an editor for a newspaper. Of course she does. Rochelle, morning to you. Let's take a quick look at the morning papers. We are, of course, going to talk about the Herald in a moment. If we could, Pretoria News, where we start, and hospitals that failed the test is their top story. At least 3 hospitals in Pretoria being found wanting by Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane. Not good news for our healthcare system.
No, good morning. Yes, definitely. I mean, but these are unfortunately historic issues that are just exacerbated whenever it comes to a crisis such as the COVID-19 pandemic. I think it's clear that, you know, South Africa was never ready. And these issues, particularly issues of safety with regards to having the correct PPE, delays in procurement, we know all about that. And then there's, compounded by the issues of infrastructure, bed shortages, lack of field hospitals, and even just staff that are tired and staff that are sick. All of that, I think, just sort of comes crashing down, and it's really just highlighted when you have a pandemic such as the one we're dealing with.
And unfortunately, of course, our healthcare system, as you mentioned there, the challenges, those historic challenges being exacerbated, we're seeing this pandemic, definitely. Rochelle, I want to move to the Cape Argus now and see what they're leading with. The headline there, Hlophe nominated for Chief Justice post, and it seems he is not the only nominee here. Rochelle, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, Supreme Court of Appeal President, Mandisa Maya, Gauteng Judge President, Dunstan Mlambo, just among those who are also nominated for this job.
Yes, yeah, we're looking forward. The JSC is conducting some of the interviews today for the Constitutional Court judge, and we know that Chief Justice Mogoeng is vacating his post on the 11th of October. So I think there's quite a bit of a rush to get that done. But curiously, Public Protector Busisiwe Mkhwebane is among those who have been nominated, and we know that she's facing impeachment by Parliament. So that's going to be one definitely to watch.
Let's talk about your newspaper for a moment, and no surprise really as well that it's facing, or that it's headlining with build up to the local government elections, and not everyone, it seems, is charmed by the ANC president. What do you mean by that, Rochelle?
Well, ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa was in Nelson Mandela Bay yesterday. He was out and he was charming people, and he was, telling jokes. In fact, the reporter notes that there was one joke that he told in 2019, and it seems to be a crowd pleaser. But not everyone was happy. For instance, he went into Kwalanga Township in Kariga, and some of the residents said they've never seen so many police vehicles in the area, because particularly whenever they contact the police station, if there are any issues of crime in the area, and the crime is a big issue in Kwalanga, they were always told that there's no police van available, and there's just very much of a slow response. So they were really scathing of the police, and they were scathing of service delivery in general, and people are just frustrated. And they made it known to the president that they are frustrated.
Yeah, it's usually a frustrating time, because it seems that the concern from most, South Africans is that around this time you're so accessible, you come into our homes, you sit on our lounge, you smooth talk your way, but
the police are found
everywhere. Everything suddenly works, but after the vote, nowhere to be found. So not surprised at all that they were not convinced by the president's charm there.
And apart from the police issue, as well as we, just before we say goodbye to you, Rochelle, this morning, it looks like a service delivery once again is just a major issue in that part of the country. Just give us a sense, as someone who obviously works from the editorial side of this newspaper, are you buying what the ANC was saying over the weekend? Did the people of your part of the country buy what the ANC are saying?
I don't think the majority of the people do. I mean, there was a lot of fanfare. People were excited to see the president. There was actually someone who ran up and hugged the premier. I think mistook the premier for the president, with the masks and the similar jackets on. But, there's a big problem there's a big problem of service delivery in the city. Water stability, electricity stability, those are major problems. And I think there's also this big issue, which the ANC is definitely using as an emotive issue, but rightfully so, I guess, is this issue of reconnection fees. When people are in arrears and the electricity meters get blocked, there's a 340 Rand reconnection fee that they have to pay in order to have the electricity back up again. And the president used that. And he said, vote for the ANC again, and you won't have this issue of reconnection fees. Obviously playing on the fact that the city is now run since December by DA and its coalition partners.
I'd be very curious to see what would happen if we actually got reconnection fees and service delivery issues dealt with before the elections.
Way before.
And then people voted. But we don't have enough time to do it. But as always, Rochelle de Kock, what a pleasure speaking to us from the Herald newspaper, the editor from there. We also had the Cape Argus as well and the Pretoria News. More papers again tomorrow, and I promise I'll warn you to get coffee.